Are black people more aggressive? Or do we just appear to be more aggressive?
Black people, you are dangerous.
Hey lovely viewer, welcome back to Comfort for Life.
No, what you need to understand is I'm the man. I'm the man in this relationship, and you're gonna start treating me like a man.
Why are you yelling?
All I'm trying to say is I'm the man.
My nigga, why are you yelling?
I'm just trying to help you understand that I'm the man in this.
Glad to have you amazing viewer at Comfort for Life Network. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For my returning subscribers, I appreciate your love and support for my content. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I have another educational video for you guys, and today we'll be looking at this aggressiveness when it comes to black people. Are they perceived aggressive, or are they just aggressive? And is this a stereotype or it's a reality? What can we say about this? Let's listen to the few stitches that I put across, but I just want to remind you that these are people's perspective on this, so your opinion matters. I'll be expecting you in my comment section. Let's interact with the few stitches that I put across. Listen.
Y'all want to know why some black men date out their race?
Now, let me tell y'all my opinion. Again, this is my opinion, right? But I believe that black men are dating outside of their race because black women are too much to deal with. We're a lot. When I say too much to deal with, it is primarily our attitudes. Unfortunately, black women in today's society have some of the most aggressive, nastiest, unapproachable attitudes, and it can run someone away. Black women, unfortunately, are, struggling with being super independent, right? Which has always been like I could do it all by myself type of mindset, but it's a different type of masculine, aggressive energy that is being reciprocated to men. And as we know, men don't want to date women who want to be just as masculine as them. Now, hear me. I'm very aware that so many of us as black women are dealing with so much trauma, right? I have a lot of clients who are working through their own trauma as black women and just trying to do better and be more self-aware and work through their struggles. But at the same time, right, just because you have your trauma that you're dealing with, or you're working through, it does not give you the right to just be so mean, so nasty, and beyond super entitled. So in case you don't want to believe it, but men do like feminine, soft women. And those other women in other races, they are simply just nice to them. A man wants a woman who is nice and kind and not aggressive. And unfortunately, the white women are the ones who are giving our black men what they want. So if you go back and watch the creator's video, he did say that, black men would prefer to be with black women. I don't think black men would willingly choose a white woman or Asian woman over a black woman any day if they could get that same love, kindness, care, approachability, just like that woman, the Cheesecake Factory thing. That woman was beyond entitled, and nothing could be said to her. Who want to deal with that, right? But she did that with a man of a different race because she felt like she could run over him. Most black men are not trying to deal with that, and they don't want to deal with our bad attitude. We cannot continue to just think that somebody has to be willing to just deal with our trauma and deal with our past and be okay with however you treat them just because you got a past. We all got a past. It's about what we do with our past and how we work through it. So that's just my personal opinion. And it's sad. It is very sad for me to even acknowledge that that's what I think it is. And I'm witnessing it. I'm seeing it. It's around me all the time. I'm around black women all the time. And I see how we come off and how unkind we can be to our own people. And if you are in the business of demasculating a man, making him feel low, making him feel like you don't need him, and you could, you're not going to get anywhere far. And that runs them away into the arms of a white woman.
Are black people more aggressive?
Aggression 99% of the time when it's a black person.
The internet has painted me as like this angry black girl.
Yeah.
Like, she always mad. She always got an attitude.
I can relate so well to what JT was talking about, and I really thank her for like coming on that interview and being open and honest about her experience. Even being a celebrity, whenever I would feel some type of way about something or my feelings would be hurt, I was not allowed to express myself. If I ever expressed myself, it was always like, Kennedy, now you have an attitude. But I would watch other races of women be able to express themselves and not get criticized the same way. I love how Angie told JT, why would you want to live this way? You know, like, why would you want to live like that? Why would you want to have to be quiet to please other people? That's not a way to live. And sadly, ladies, that's how a lot of Black women are living. We're told to be quiet. We're told to shut our mouths. We can't cry. We can't feel. And this hardens us. You know, my therapist told me that it is feminine to cry. That's why a lot of us have PCOS, or a lot of us are just, when it comes to emotions, we just cut it off. And we have so much that is like built up within us. It is a feminine thing to cry. It's a feminine thing to clap back sometimes. It's a feminine thing to express yourself. We're women. Let's stand in our feminine energy and not let other people try to tell us how we're supposed to react and how we're supposed to feel.
You a little too tough, yo. You gotta. You a little too tough.
Just have to make sense.
When I be watching, you a little too tough. I'm serious. You gotta, feminine. You a feminine looking woman. You beautiful. It's okay. Rest in your femininity.
Oh, I'm always in my femininity.
Well, rest in it.
I never feel like I have to be masculine.
When you talk about it on here, you be a little aggressive.
No, I'm not aggressive. Men are just not used to a woman that looks like me.
What?
Being factual. They want women that look like me to be emotional and be like, oh,
but
you guys, this is how I feel and I just want to be. I don't think like that because you think like that, you're going to get ran over your whole life. If I was fat and ugly, y'all wouldn't care about what I was saying. But because of how I look, y'all be like, oh, she's so aggressive.
I'm just saying, you could do it in a feminine way.
I've had a realization that for the past year and a half, I've been living life on autopilot. I'm gonna just be vulnerable with y'all. I had a huge traumatic event happen to me around that time, and I thought that if I just stopped thinking about it, that it was gonna go away. It was still very prevalent, but it just showed in other ways that I was not noticing, and neither was anybody around me. I went super MIA from social media. I stopped going out. I stopped really being around my friends, and I just dismissed it as, oh, I'm working on myself right now. Ignoring invites, just staying in my room. I just wanted to be by myself. And since anyone that knew never really checked on me about the traumatic event, I never realized how it actually was affecting me because I didn't talk about it. I saw someone say on here on how Black women have ADHD and anxiety and all these other issues, but it's always dismissed off of just being aggressive or we're annoyed or we're irritable. When really we're probably overstimulated or anxious or depressed. But anything that's negative, because we're Black women, it's always just gonna be brushed off of like, you're doing too much, you need to calm down. So instead of having a safe space to vent, you're usually criticized. We're so used to always having to be strong and carrying such a big emotional load that eventually we just shut down or don't talk about it or put a guard up. And then our vulnerability starts being looked at as a weakness because there's no safe space to be vulnerable. My therapist brought up the point to me that once you harden your heart in one area of your life, it goes towards everything. You can't.
The angry Black woman. The angry Black woman stereotype is another trope that causes Black women to suppress their emotions and feel like they have to put on a persona in front of other people. Society sees us as this angry person, so we spend all of this energy trying to show everybody that we're not. In doing so, it causes us to be disconnected from other people and ourselves. By nature, I'm a very serious person, but being so serious has caused people to give me feedback that I need to smile more, that I need to intimidate people less, because that seriousness is perceived as anger. So trying to reinvent myself and make myself more acceptable to other people has often caused a weight for me that is hard to carry. So what's the solution? One solution is to allow yourself to express a full range of emotions, yet also having discernment about where that's appropriate and where it's not. You'll find who you can take risks with, who can you take that mask down for, and who you can be your authentic self around.
I want to talk about 4 tropes that have been used time and time again to dehumanize Black women and dismiss their individuality. So first up this week is the sapphire, aka the angry Black woman. You see, in the aftermath of slavery, Black women became victims of negative stereotyping in mainstream culture, and one such stereotype is that of the angry Black woman. This stereotype that portrays Black women as rude, irrational, aggressive, and overbearing was popularized on TV and has roots in minstrel shows. You see, at the height of these shows, Black women were often played by white men who don blackface and fat suits to make them look less feminine and ultimately less human. Then they'd go around on stage fighting or irrationally screaming at the men around them in response to certain circumstances. What this did was place Black women as frightening and domineering in the minds of people, and sadly, it didn't stop there.
We've heard it for years. We are dangerous. I believe that we just need to be real about it. I know we have fought the stereotype for years, but we're dangerous. I mean, let's think about it for a moment. We are a people that were kidnapped. Before that, we were held in dungeons. We made a trip across the Atlantic that most people wouldn't survive and most people didn't. We were enslaved and raped and sold and beaten. We have had to give up all of our intellectual property during those times and weren't allowed to even own property during those times. We have been marginalized by things like Jim Crow laws, having higher rates at banks even today, being forced to send our kids to oftentimes the worst schools. We have been, our voices have tried to be smothered out in history books and at voting polls. We have, don't get the same health care. We don't get the same jobs and opportunities. And yet, in spite of, there's not much that we don't touch in this country. You can't talk about music, art, fashion without talking about Black people. I'm talking about today. That's why they bring in our talent, our gifts. You can't talk about inventions in science and discussion in math and some of the great things that have happened in healthcare without mentioning Black people. Of course, people try. You can't talk about the food industry without talking about what we brought to it. We were the people who were given the scraps and the worst, the things that they didn't want to eat, and made it delicacies today. You give us something, or you give us nothing and we make something. We are the originals of taking lemons and making lemonade and lemon chess pie. And gosh, that's got to be dangerous to those who don't want to share, to those who want to remain in power. That's got to be dangerous, quite scary. So they must keep creating laws to block us. And that's what they've always done. And we still somehow find a way because we're dangerous to them. Even with this affirmative action, horrific decision, a decision based on a country that doesn't exist, a decision that tries to act as if we're a country that's colorblind. I just know that we're gonna find a way. I can see our historically Black colleges and universities blowing up. I hope our great athletes start coming and bringing money to the schools. I hope those who can afford it start fueling money into the schools. And you know what I've been thinking about? As much as these people, these supremacists are pushing us out, they're forcing us together. And a united Black people is dangerous. Keep segregating us. Keep making it difficult for us to integrate. I think they just may find out that we're more dangerous than they thought. Because we bad. We real bad.
What are your thoughts on this? Aggressiveness links to our history as black people, and up to now, black men don't really, the majority of black men don't seek for counseling, because in our culture it's even believed that you can't be depressed as a black person. So whenever you're going through such, you just have to be a man. Like, just be a man, be that strong woman. Like, there's always that links to black people, and it's always really that we always have to find a way out. Be strong as a person, be strong as a black person, be strong. So maybe that's the narrative of a strong black woman, the strong man that you're always raised to be, should drop first for us to get to that point where we can see ourselves as human beings sometimes when we need help, and we seek for that help that we need. That's my thought on this. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to share the video. Share. Goodbye for now.